So we're just looking at our property line, getting used familiar. We had a surveyor last year, and maybe 100 yards that way is the corner. So isn't this fun? We get to play in the woods up here. And there's no leaves on the trees, so you can kind of see a little ways. It's thicker in the nice weather summer when there's leaves all over
right
this.
over there,
It
that
is
big
pretty,
tree right there.
pretty dense. Oh yeah. Right over,
So it kind of, it goes back like that.
right over here is the next. So we're just following pink ribbons and stakes. Okay, here's the other end of our property. Right where that. All right, guys. So we're starting to clear some of the woods. As you can hear the chainsaw, Shannon's cutting up some trees that I just fell. So we have that road that if
Like I said in the
here we're up, that's our neighbor's house down below. So those are windows through the trees. That's the back of his property. This camera doesn't, my phone's not doing justice, but we're higher, much higher than his house. So it's kind of like the high spot of the area. There's actually a neighbor's house across the road right there, their roof line. You turn right behind me here on through our pasture and then up along our woods here. And then we're gonna make this our entranceway right there. And you'll make a right and come up here, or a left I should say. And you'll go up this way. Sorry, I got my safety glasses still on, I see. And we're starting to cut a path through there, and we're marking it with some fluorescent pink paint. I got some stakes with some ribbons on them, just so we know where we're going. And we're trying to cut down as little amount of trees as we have to, but there's a lot of cedar up here, red cedar. Gorgeous. When you cut through it, it's got that bright red cedar in the inside of it. Maybe I'll show you one of them that we've cut down. But they make good fence posts too, so we can cut them at 10-foot lengths. And if we need some fence posts, they are very good at water resistant and bug resistant too. Good morning, everyone. Friday the 4th of November. And today we called Athens Utility Board, which is our power service here in Tennessee. And they're the ones who are going to pick out where our electric can go. So what we've done this week so far, and you'll see in this video, is did the initial cutting in of a road, and we put some flags up and just gave it up to where, put it up to where a house might, you know, if we had our choice, this area of our hill up here behind me, can't really see it, back in the woods up there, so where we'd like to put the house. So today we got the Athens Utility Board engineer coming. Actually waiting for him right now, could be here any minute. He's going to pinpoint where he thinks he could pull power from, give an estimation. He'll tell us trees at how many feet clearing he needs, and put it all together and give us kind of a rundown of the price to put it. And again, we're kind of flexible up there. We got a couple of choices, but we know where we want to be. But it's remains to be seen money-wise whether that's going to be feasible. So we'll find out here shortly. But basically, what they do is, I'll show you real quick, because they did it for our barn here when we put this wanted electricity down here, mainly for the RV. But if you see that transformer up on that pole right there, they can pull power. And so we had a bunch of trees right in here that we cleared out a couple of years ago when we first got here. And they just need 15 feet of clearance. And then we set this electric pole in the ground. Shannon and I went and bought a pole. You can buy these, set them in the ground, and then get yourself a panel, a service panel. The electric supplier, Athens Utility Board, they supply the meter. So sorry, it's a little early and my brain's not working totally. So yeah, they'll supply that meter and stick that in when you're all done. But you have an inspector come out and just make sure you're not going to burn your place down or electrocute yourself. But yeah, you just put it right there on the post. That long piece of conduit there runs right to the other end of, and that's where we plug in the bus. And as you know, if you go around that corner, our bus is on that other side of the barn there. So, and then I got power going into the barn, and I got outlets and lighting up in there. And then you put a conduit up to a certain level. They give you all the specifics, what to do, how high, and then they run that cable to there. All right, guys, just met with Titan from Athens Utility Board, our power service here, and got some pretty decent news. You're always kind of like, oh, what's this going to cost to have power put up into the woods, and how much is it going to be? A small fortune, but it's not too bad. It looks like we could, they determine where the best place to pull from, and there's a pole right there across the street with a transformer on it, and we get the first 300 feet free. So that would get us, we just got to dig the trench across our field there. Our field corner of our property is right there, so they put a pole on the corner of our property, and then we trench from there underground, and it looks like we can go with underground service. It's not, it's a little bit more than above ground, but being so wooded and everything, we'd rather have it below ground. But they can put it right here. This is our road going up into the woods. So we'd trench right to here, they'd run it to here, put another pole there, and then we're thinking, we're gonna measure that later this afternoon, but we're thinking that could be 300 feet right there, or get us close. And then we'd start paying ourselves to run it up to where we want the house. But we can be within 150 feet of the house, so it's really not, it's a little ways up into the woods, which I've been meaning to show you what we've done so far. We've cleared out a lot of path. We're gonna widen this down here. We're gonna put a tile, they call it. It's gonna create a culvert right here, because there is a ditch, a drainage ditch that runs right along here. And put a culvert, gravel it, and start the driveway this way. So if you see these pink flags, Shannon and I went up, took about 100 of these flags, put them on both sides, and this kind of gives you an idea of where we're going. And we cleared out some trees already. We got to take roots and get it down a couple of inches for a guy to come up here with a gravel truck and start dumping gravel that we can spread around. But I'll take you up here. But yeah, we were pleasantly surprised. He also gave us a couple electricians that do this work all the time, and we're gonna actually call a couple of them and get an estimate just to see if it's something we could get done quicker if we just pay a little bit more to have somebody professionally do it. But we don't mind doing this stuff ourselves, like you saw, for like you've seen in the past. So, but it takes it up here, and we wind over here. That's our wagon with all our chainsaw and all the supplies and stuff that we need, tools to be digging and removing stumps and wood and trees up here. Yeah, it'll be really nice when we can get this gravel on the road up here. It's really gonna, kind of cool just planning out your own road, which way you want to go. And we put a couple curves in it so when you look back behind, people can't already see us from the road, so that's what we like. And you're a little secluded up here then. Probably tell from my voice that I'm climbing a hill. So what we did yesterday was basically put flags every 10 feet on both sides, and then gave us, the gravel guy that we deal with said he just needs about 12 feet wide. We want to keep it as minimal as possible because we don't want to take this huge amount of trees. We just got a couple of cars that'll be up here, climbing up here. And so we don't want to take a lot out of these woods. Lots of cedar trees. Oh, and we found out there's a lot of hickory trees up here too, which is kind of cool. Another hardwood. But so this, we were thinking right here we'd smooth this area out for parking space, 2 or 3 cars. Or the other place is right over in this clearing right here, and make it so you can pull in and back out, so you can go frontwards back down the driveway. And then also we climbed around in here. This hasn't even been cleaned out or nothing yet back in here, but we did stake out where we'd like to have a house, and that would be back in here. You can see we put one stake there, and we're thinking this house, we're thinking 30 by 24, so even a little bit smaller than Wyoming. There's a big drop off right here, and it goes straight down after about 10 feet up this way, and we think that real nice setting for a front porch. And then this is looking back. This is our neighbor's house that we show you all through the woods there. Super quiet. See some white-tailed deer here the last couple of nights too, so it's kind of cool. And, Bill, our neighbor, says there's tons of deer up in here, so it just gives you an idea how it's going to look. By the way, it's warmer than we thought. I mean, it gets down 49, 50 at night, nice and cool, but today is supposed to be near 80, and next 2 days before next week, sometime next week, it's going to clear, cool down a little, and be more closer to normal. But then this is up at pretty much the top and looking back down our road. You can still hear traffic on the road, but it's so quiet here. That's one reason you can pick up that noise. Yep. White oak trees too, hickory, beech trees. Lots of cedar trees and some white pine. All right, morning guys. It is Saturday the 5th of November, and today Shannon's working on her resume for her next nursing job, and I thought I'd come out here and continue our fence. What we did is, I showed you before, we put a fence between our property here and our neighbors, but I just ran it to the woods a year and a half ago when I was last here. So today I'd like to start clearing this part, this brush here. It's pretty thick in here. There's lots of vines, trees. So I'm got about, maybe 15 feet, 20 feet in now. And I'm just gonna start going from, I had a surveyor mark this, and he actually climbed through here and put stakes. So I'm just going stake to stake, clearing a path, and next I'll bring in some T-posts, and about every 10 feet put a T-post in the ground. So eventually I'll run, we have some fencing that we bought, and I'll run that through here, and it does come out in my neighbor's backyard, and I'll show you that when I get through here, but that's what I'm doing right now. All right, here's my pile of T-posts. We actually bought these secondhand off our neighbor Bill. He had removed them from some land that he owns. He has some land in a bunch of places around here, so he sold them to us for way cheaper than we could get them at Lowe's or any place like that, so about half price. So first thing is to count up how many I have, and then go out to where I cleared our rest of our fence line, and about every 10 feet I want to put them, and we'll see if I have enough. I think I do though, so, but I'm gonna just give them a quick count here. Sunday afternoon, decided to take a little break and visit Chattanooga. One of our goals this year is to really kind of get a feel for our surroundings a little bit more. So we came down to Chattanooga. You might be able to hear the highway, but we're actually in the city limits and found this trail, and it was pretty cool. 3.2 miles, I believe, loop, but pretty cool.
Pretty neat. You think that's Signal Mountain over there? It's a pretty good size, huh?
Mm-hmm. Hi guys. It's let's see, Tuesday, election day, and boy, that hike was really fun. We one of our goals, as I said, is you can't just come up here for 6 months and just try to build a house and clear the property and not do anything else. You got to see the surrounding areas and get used to things. And we've never been down to Chattanooga, so that was nice going down there. Real nice, cool little town, little city actually. It's a city, major city, and it's right on the border of Georgia. So actually the city proper ends right at Georgia on the southern side of that city. And but there's lots of mountains, big mountains, as you know, in northern Georgia. Lookout Mountain and Signal Mountain. So we hiked a little bit of that area, Lookout Mountain, and very interesting and very cool part of the country. And so today we're back at it. Yesterday was a little drizzly, and we made a bunch of phone calls, 811. Before you dig anything, you want to call that and have them lay any utility lines. Not that there is anything around here, but you never can tell. You don't want to get caught and hit something. You'd be on the bill for that. So it's good to call that. We took care of some property tax information, bunch of other things. Shannon updated her resume for her next nursing job, and so we did a lot of that yesterday. So today we're back in the woods. I'm actually up near our home where we've kind of laid it out. That's going to be over past that red stake there, and we may even get up here today and clear some of these woods. We rented a little brush cutter, and we're going to do some cleaning up around the property. When we're not here for like a year and a half, we do have our hay all cut, so our grass in our pasture field looks pretty good. But around all the fencing and stuff, it really gets all brambly and tangled up with hay and vines and stuff. So we're going to go along our fence and cut some stuff out, clean it up a little, and maybe get up here and cut out some little stuff around the house area so that we can get in there with the chainsaw and cut some more wood down. So that'll be pretty cool. And it's nice just being up here. That's Bill's dog right now, so our neighbor. But it was quiet until I started video taping. I was gonna just sit here in the woods and let you guys listen to the quietness. Even with 10 acres, you can still hear neighbors. But the leaves have pretty much fallen now. And we're kind of in a middle area of, we can't really clear the driveway any more than what we've done. We can clear the home site, get that started, but you got to do it in steps. If you get ahead of yourself, it's just extra work. Or you could do, like say yesterday, one of the things is we applied for a septic permit for our septic. So you got to wait 10 to 40 days for a guy to come out and do a soil sample just to make sure you can get a septic. The ground is okay up here for septic. Again, we're going with a small house, so it'll be a small septic. Might have to remove some trees for the leach field and that sort of thing, but we're right on a hillside, so I'm thinking running downhill it's going to be no problem. But you want to do that. You don't want to put your driveway in and have them say, no, the soil's not good here, and sorry about the $7,000 that you used to put a driveway in and gravel and stuff, but you're gonna have to put it somewhere else. So you got to kind of wait. So we just move along and do something different. So that's what we're gonna do today, start clearing up some brush and making the property look a little better. What we're using today is basically a weed whacker on steroids. So as you can see, the blade looks like a circular, so it's got much meaner teeth. Go through small trees, but we're just going along. We got a barbed wire fence that runs along the road of our property, and a little more decorative fence at our property driveway. So we just cleaned all that up so far. Man, it's thick out here, but we are leaving cedar trees, bushes, and shrubbery, because eventually we just like it to be blocked from the road, but not an eyesore looking. Poncho and Lefty love it here. They like all the new smells. All right, so we finished going along our whole road, fencing everything, all the brush is taken out, all along there. There goes our neighbor Bill. And we had huge piles along there, and he came down with his tractor, and he's got like a little jaws thing and just picks it all up. Brought it up here. Now we got a big burn pile. So what we'll do is slowly, I'm gonna tarp it today because we're expecting rain the next 2 days or so. So Sunday, hopefully we'll be able to burn it in our pit here. We'll just take it little by little. This stuff will burn quick. It's just vines and dead sticks and twigs and stuff. There's our firewood. We'll get a good fire going. It's supposed to be cool by then on Sunday, and the 2 days of rain should cover that pretty good. So yeah, so that project's crossed off the list, and we're keeping all those cedars. Those are all cedar trees, and those will grow in really nice out there on the road and stuff. So it was a project though. So the rest of the day, our plan is to make hay while the sun shines. So it's clouding up a little, but we're gonna go back up in those woods and do our thing with the chainsaw and try to clear out our home, the 30 by 24 that I had staked out. So we'll show you that later. I think what I'll do now that I think of it, I got enough. I'm just gonna call it a day for this video. So when we clear out the home site, I'll make sure that's on the next video. So look forward to that. So thanks guys for watching the videos, and hit that thumbs up button. That helps us on our metrics and get more viewership. See ya.